Hi BookTube, it's Marianne at We Last Wear Book, and today we are going to do the BookTube Newbie Tag. So I was originally going to film this and post it yesterday, but because the reading rush started today, which is the 20th of July, not August like I boldly stated yesterday, like a fool, I decided to post my TBR for that instead and then do the tag today. So I have the list of questions. I had to write them down because I would have, one, forgot all the questions, and two, I can't switch between my camera and my browser because I'm using my phone to film it. So I just wrote them down. So question number one, why did you start this channel? So the reason I started this channel is because I watch a lot of BookTube. Some would say maybe a little bit too much. So I love going through and seeing other people's different opinions, views, hauls, vlogs from all around the world, all walks of life, things like that. So I feel like I wanted to maybe contribute to that a little bit because everybody's got different life experiences, everybody's got different tastes. In fact, the fact that I follow so many booktubers really came back to bite me in the arse yesterday because I decided to go through all the booktubers I follow on my personal account and then subscribe to them on this account. And because YouTube will only let you subscribe to a certain amount of people at a time, just in case it's spam, I've had to do it alphabetically, like doing a letter at a time. So I'm up to K and I have been doing it since yesterday afternoon. But to be fair, I have been taking breaks to cook dinner and have a bath and clean and stuff like that. So hopefully I can get from K through to Z today. Fingers crossed. And also, I don't really feel as if there's enough Scottish booktubers on YouTube. The main ones I follow are Jean at Bookish Thoughts and Leanne at Literary Diversions. And I'll link their YouTube channels below. You've probably already seen them, you probably already follow them, but just in case, I'll put them down there. I love their channels. And there's a few other Scottish booktubers that I still have in my subscribers, but they haven't uploaded for a few years. I'll go and see if I can source them, and again I'll link them below because they do have great videos that they have posted previously that you can look through. Because for me, while I love seeing booktube videos from all across the world, when it comes to vlog videos, bookstore visits, things like that, it's more relatable for me because it's places that I can visit, places I can go, because I love watching, say, bookstore visits in London, in the US, in Italy, in Russia, here, there and everywhere. But these are places that unless I travel to for a holiday that I'm unable to visit. So I mean it's something nice to be able to share, so there might be something that I can show other Scottish booktube viewers that they can go and see, they can go and visit, which can only be beneficial. So question number two, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to BookTube? So see, the thing is, I believe that everybody can bring something unique to BookTube, because everybody has different opinions, different viewpoints, they come from different walks of life, everything like that. So that is something that is unique to them, and you can never have too many booktubers because, like I said, everybody has a different opinion. So that's something that is unique to everybody. As for fun, I mean, I don't do a lot of stuff that is considered fun in everyday life, but while I'm trying to kind of tame it currently, I am a little bit of a weirdo, but I'm trying to downplay that at the minute, ease you all into it. So that'll be fun to watch. And also, I'm hoping to get some really good vlogs outdoors because I'm quite an outdoorsy person. My ideal day is traipsing through a forest or up a hill to view the beautiful scenery that Scotland has to offer. So I think that would be something good to share. So number 3 is, what are you most excited about this new channel? So my most exciting thing is being able to connect with other readers, other people who are passionate about reading, people that have the same taste and interest that can offer good recommendations. Also seeing other people's viewpoints, because if I share my opinion on a book or movie or anything, I love seeing people that have opposing views, because you can then go back and reread and look at it from a different perspective, and maybe you'll like the book more than you did when you read it the first time. Maybe you like it less, like maybe there was problematic themes in it that you didn't realise at the time. Because, for example, I was growing up as a teenager, I was absolutely obsessed with a book series in particular, and I thought that it was the be all and end all of books. And I became really overly passionate about it. But it wasn't until a few years later somebody pointed out, actually there are some problematic aspects to that book. There's some racism there that I hadn't noticed. There was some sexism, problematic relationships, things like that, which means that while I can still appreciate the series, I can acknowledge that there is problematic themes running through it, and the author maybe didn't really take into consideration these things while she was writing it. So yeah, I like being able to have my opinion not necessarily changed, but my eyes open to different things within my reading. Plus, I don't know a lot of people that read much non-fiction, and I love non-fiction, so BookTube has been great for me to find people that love non-fiction as well. So I like being able to recommend that, because it's not a very common thing. Again, if you're looking for non-fiction, there's a few channels that I watch really frequently that contain a lot of non-fiction, so I'll put them in the description box as well. The two main channels that I watch for non-fiction are Triumphal Reads, which focuses a lot on history, and A Book Olive, which has loads of non-fictions from different categories. I love nature reading and history and science, so there's always someone somewhere who has something that you will enjoy. Like I said, I'll include some links aside from the two I've already mentioned that you can go and have a wee look at. So, number 4, why do you love reading? I have always enjoyed a book. I prefer reading a book to watching a film or a series. I just feel like I can picture my own vision of the world that I'm looking into while I'm reading. And as someone who suffers with, I've got really bad anxiety, I like having that escapism there. If I'm feeling really anxious, I can go and read a book, transport myself to another world, another country, another time period. I can educate myself in something new through non-fiction, and I just, it's a form of escapism for me, and it's something that brings me joy. It makes me happy. And also, like I said in my video yesterday, sometimes it's good to feel a different way from how you're feeling at the time, if that makes sense. So I like to feel discomfort, I like to feel happiness, I like to feel sad, because it means that you're reading a good book. If an author can make you feel something, they are doing their job right. And I will stand by that. I know that there's a lot of people that say, oh, this was a really uncomfortable read for me in a negative way, but you can flip it on its head and go, well, why did it make me uncomfortable? What did that say about me? And things like that. So number 5, what book or series got you into reading? So I always had books from when I was a kid. I had a library card for as far back as I can remember. My mum always made sure that there was reading material there for me, whether it be magazines, books. She read to me when I was really young, and then I was actually quite a proficient reader. I know that sounds really braggy, but it's not supposed to be. A really proficient reader from when I was quite young, so I had a bookshelf in my bedroom and I would read all day and all night. The one particular series that I vividly recall reading and going, wow, this is amazing was the Chronicles of Narnia. Anytime we got our schoolwork done really quickly in primary school, we were allowed to go to the library, and we could sit and read or draw or write, or once computers had came into popularity, you could use the computers to do research and projects and things like that. So that was where I had first got hold of the Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, and oh my god, I loved it so much. I actually want to go back and reread them as an adult now and see how I feel about them now. So that is something that I'm going to do. And I love the books that much that I didn't actually watch the films. I might have watched some of the first Chronicles of Narnia film, but I don't recall. It would have been a while ago if I did. And then when Harry Potter series came out, the year that it came out, our teacher decided to read the first book. So she would take maybe half an hour at the end of the day once everybody had done their work, and she would read from the book. And again, I know that there is some problematic themes within the books and also with the author, but again, at the time I was a young innocent child. I must have been 10 maybe. And again, I went home and I was like, Mum, you need to get me this book. I love it. And now I've read all of the books and I've seen most of the films. The only one I haven't seen is the last film, and the only reason I haven't seen it is I just haven't found time to actually sit down and watch it. But I got the kids the DVD box set, so I'm pretty sure that I'll sit down with them over the holidays maybe, because we're in our summer holidays at the minute, and watch them on put them in the PlayStation and watch them there, and get fully caught up. So question number 6, what questions would you ask your favourite booktubers? So I follow so many booktubers that I can't really pick a specific favourite, but I would like to just ask, how do you find the time to get through so many books? I would love to be able to just sit and find so much time, and I don't feel jealous of it, but there is an element of envy there, where I'm like, how can you squeeze this around your working life, your family life, everything like that? Like, to read that much, I would probably have to stay up to I would probably just have to not sleep. So yeah, that would be like my main question. How do you find the time and the motivation? And why do you love booktubing? The same question that is on there. Why did you start your channel? Which I've seen through obviously some newbie tags, but I think I'm gonna have to search and then go back through again to see them. So number 7, what challenges do you think starting a booktube challenge will be the hardest to overcome? Like I previously said, time. It's finding time to read, finding time to film. My family and friends don't know that I have started a booktube channel, so I'm trying to keep that kind of quiet in case they make fun of me. So finding time to film when the kids are quiet. I'll be going back to work soon. I've been off on furlough because of COVID-19, so I'll have to fit it around work as well, work schedules. I need to find time to read. Thankfully, I've got I think my commute's about half an hour to get to work, so I can read on the bus. I can use an audiobook on my walk from where I get the bus to my actual job, and then there's a sort of quiet period on a Thursday night where I could probably get away with flicking through my Kindle while it's quiet and there's nothing to do. But yeah, and I also read quite a lot in the bath, so I can find time to squeeze it in somehow. Question number 8, when did you start reading? So if you mean me reading exclusively on my own, independently, I'm not really sure, because like I said, my mum read to me when I was younger. There was always books in the house, there was always access to a library, there was access to books at school. I read independently, my mum read to me, teachers read to the class. So It's literally as far back as I can remember. But when I started going to the library by myself, and going to pick my own books instead of having the books that were provided to me as gifts or on the bookshelf, or going shopping with my mum and saying I want that, and that. I think I might have been about 10 or 11 when I was allowed to go to the library by myself. And I used to sneak, like, obviously I read the books that were within my age range, but I used to sneak around the back where they had this horror section, and I used to read Stephen King books. So there was this like 10, 11-year-old kid sitting round behind they had like a big ball pit that was like shaped like a castle, that like toddlers could play in the kids section. So I would go and get like Stephen King books and go and read them behind this ball pit so that the librarians wouldn't give me any trouble. So that was sort of when I was really like, okay, so you get the Sweet Valley High books, you get Harry Potter, things like that. But then once I got into the actual adult reading, I was like, right, so books get way more interesting as you get older. I think the first adult book I read was it Carrie? I think it might have been Carrie or The Shining, possibly. Yeah, and that was when I was like, right, this is mind blowing. So the next question, number 9, is where do you read? So normally I read in bed. So I know normally on BookTube people film with all the books behind them or a backdrop, but this is my main reading place. And also I love this wall. It took so much time and effort that I felt like this was a nice place to film. And also I have a chair in my living room next to my bookshelf, which has got a little side table next to it where I can put my snacks, because I like to snack while I read. And I just usually wrap myself in a blanket and sort of curry away in there, and then with a hardback or a paperback, and then I'll move to bed to read on my Kindle, because I got a new Kindle with a backlight on it, which means I don't have to have the lamp on, so I'm not really wasting electricity, and I'm not becoming sort of like overly awake. I find with the lights off and just the Kindle backlight on kind of low, I can still become kind of tired as I'm going along. And also because I have an Audible subscription, I will, if I'm cleaning and the kids aren't home, because obviously I don't want to read and not communicate with the children, because I feel that would be a real bad example to set. If I'm cleaning and the kids aren't home, or I'm walking to the shop, or I'm in the supermarket, things like that, I will shove earphones in and just listen to an audiobook on my phone. That means that, again, I can get more reading done for a start, and also I can have something else running in the background. But the only problem with that is sometimes, depending on what I'm doing as I'm listening to an audiobook, I kind of distract myself. So for example, I was on the school run before the lockdown had happened because of COVID, and I had my earphones in and had Audible going, but someone was texting me at the same time. And so the distance from my house to where the kids' school is like 15-20 minutes if I walk slow, 10 minutes if I walk quite quickly. And because I had been texting the whole time, by the time I got to the school, I went, I have just missed 20 whole minutes in my book. I have got no idea what just happened. So I have to be still kind of focused even though I'm doing something else or walking about and whatever. So there are drawbacks to that. And the last book question is number 10. What kind of books do you like to read? So I have quite a broad spectrum of taste, so I can dip into most genres. The only genre that I don't read is westerns. It's just never something that's interested me. I've tried to watch western films and series. I've picked up maybe a western once in book form, and it's just something that I cannot get into. I don't know why, because I have no issue with like Western themes like cowboys and shootouts and things like that, but it's just something I can't really immerse myself in and really enjoy. So if anybody's got recommendations for kind of westerns that I might find more exciting that I might not have heard of before, drop them in the comments. That would be amazing. I can go and pick them up and see how I feel about it. As for favourite genres, like I said, I have quite a broad spectrum of taste, and my taste has changed over the years. When I was younger, it was mostly horror, thrillers, and crime I read. Now, as an adult, I read more non-fiction, historical fiction, particularly historical romance. Shout out to Outlander. And within the non-fiction categories, it's quite centred around science, astrophysics, biology. I'll read a lot of history and social and cultural issues, feminism, racism, inequality, climate change, things like that. And I love fantasy books as well, because I like that kind of escape where you are transported to a completely different world from the one that you are in currently. And there's elements of sci-fi there. You can also have elements of historical fiction and fantasy, magical realism. You can have elements of horror in your fantasy. So really, in fantasy, you can have a bit of everything in it, which I love. So that's my answer to all the questions. The one question I was surprised wasn't asked in the tag was, what is your favourite book? Which is probably quite good, because I don't actually have a favourite book. So I don't even know why I said that at the end. That was completely pointless and daft. So yeah, that's the tag. That's the questions, and I'll be back tomorrow. I think I'm going to post my day one vlog from my reading rush situation currently, because I'm finding it quite hard to squeeze in time. One, I probably should have been reading instead of filming this video, because I can't really complain about not having time to read if I'm not making the time while the house is quiet. And also I couldn't sleep last night, so I'm really tired and I've lots of stuff to do today. But I thought I'd get this out of the way anyway, get it posted, and that's it done. So take care. I hope everybody has a nice day, and I'll see you later. Bye.